Anthony Anderson is the latest to be robbed in divorce court. In a recent divorce judgment, he was ordered to pay his wife $4 million. He had to give up assets and was also ordered to pay $20,000 to $40,000 per month in alimony. In a minute, I'll explain why the alimony payment will be $20,000 or $40,000. But he married his wife Alvina back in 1999. She first filed for divorce in 2015. She tried to cash out when he got his role on Blackish. It was a very popular show that paid him very, very well. Anthony Anderson had finally landed a good gig. Somehow, he was able to talk Alvina back into the marriage, but that didn't work out long term because it was already in her heart to leave. He should have let her go the first time because she came back in 2022 and filed for divorce again. This time he had more money than before, and now those alimony payments are set at a higher amount. So although he will never be with this woman again, he's basically going to be paying her alimony in California, by the way, forever. Either nearly $250,000 per year, $240,000, or nearly $500,000 per year, $480,000. I'll get into the details, but first, take a second to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and click the notification bell for all updates. It was obvious Anthony and Alvina's marriage was in trouble back in 2014-2015. His wife filed for divorce after he got his biggest career boost with ABC. She was ready to run out of there with the bag then. She filed in 2015, but then dropped it in 2017, telling the judge they worked out their issues and got back together, i.e. Anthony begged her to stay so she wouldn't run off and take all his money. Then by the time he was done with Blackish and they wrapped up the series on ABC after 8 seasons, she filed again in 2022. And the timing of this is everything. I'll touch on that in a minute. Now that the divorce is finalized, Anthony was ordered to pay his wife $4 million. He was allowed to keep their LA home and a 2004 Land Rover, while Alvina would keep a 2022 Mazda, along with their home in Houston. There's a firearm that Anthony has in his possession that he was ordered to give to her within 30 days. And the cemetery plots they had in Inglewood, once they are sold, he's got to give her half of that money too. Yes, these courts are making you give up half of everything, including burial plots. The same plots that's meant for you to be together forever. Remember, until death do us part. But marriages in America these days, they barely make it 5 years. So on top of all of that, he's also going to pay her $240,000 per year in alimony. And that's just the base pay, the start. Because if his gross income reaches a penny over $2 million in a year, he's got to pay her an additional $240,000, which means he'll have to pay her a total of $480,000 per year. That's almost $500,000. And remember, that's gross income. He's going to have to keep on coughing up these alimony payments. You know, in California, you're entering the permanent alimony stage, where the man will completely lose all leverage if he had any left. This is a time when you look at most men in the marriage and they are miserably kissing their wives behind because they don't want her to leave and take everything, and they visibly become weak and emasculated. And sometimes even humiliated by their wives publicly because she's now aware that she can do whatever and be backed up by the state. They are all in cahoots to rob you. The wife, the judge, the lawyers, everybody will turn on you. And most of them have these wives that are so wicked that they will turn your children on you too. And then the alimony is basically permanent because the only way you're going to get out of it is if she remarried. And come on, we all know when they get into a settlement like this, they almost never remarry. Well, one, what other man of high value is going to take them? Let's face it, the only man they're really able to fool is the husband. They will never find a man worth more than him and jeopardize their forever lottery payments. So yeah, the alimony is going to be forever, and the ex-husband is going to be stuck in this weak position, very weak, where he's going to be forced to pay her a yearly salary of an executive while she's laying up with a man with nothing, and you're going to have to fund the lifestyle of both of them. Oh, and don't have minor children, because then you'll be paying spousal support and child support. The courts are giving these women wife benefits forever, permanently, without them having to put in work like a wife and fulfill wife duties. For the folks out there who don't know the secret, everyone is in on it. Her mama, her aunties, her grandma, everybody taught her how to rob you sometimes before you even met her. While you're thinking it's love and you're doing the right thing, she's planning her future. And her future is centered around how to get your resources without having to put up with you. Because let's be honest, most of these modern women, any of them brought up during or after second wave feminism with the modern woman mindset, most of them don't want to really be a wife. They like the title, they like the big fancy weddings, so they can show off in front of their friends and family and be a princess for a day, the weekend, or a bridezilla for a year. They love taking all the pictures, feeling like a glamorous celebrity with 10 pounds of drag eyelashes and makeup, but they don't like the duties of being a wife. They don't like to cook, they don't like to clean, they won't support and assist their man, they don't like to show respect, they refuse to submit and obey. These flamingos won't even repeat obey in their marriage vows anymore.
In sickness.
And in health.
And in health.
To love.
To love.
Cherish.
Cherish.
And to obey.
We didn't talk about that one in counseling.
We did talk about that in counseling. Yes, we did. So you want me to repeat that again? You want to just keep going?
I think we can keep going.
All right.
And side note, that man who continued to marry this disrespectful, rebellious woman is the biggest fool in the room. And everyone was laughing at him. He should have walked away right there and made the joke on her. But no, he chose to be in that weak position. This is how they're going into a marriage. How is that supposed to last? He's obviously not the leader in his relationship because no real leader will allow himself to be in this situation. But yeah, this is what they're all about these days. And guys, you can tell the mindset of the woman that you're dealing with by her reaction to stories like this. Go anywhere on social media, you'll find these flamingos talking about how a woman deserves to take all the man's money, saying things like she deserved it or she worked for it, as if marriage is like them doing 10, 15, 20 years or more in the military and now they deserve benefits forever. But this is how you know they're full of it. When the same scenario is reversed, they'll say the man didn't deserve to get anything. Doesn't matter if he was with her for 10, 20, 30 years, or if he helped her manage or build her career. They really believe the man shouldn't get a dime. And you have other men agreeing with them, shaming men for even asking for alimony. In fact, these boss chicks are meeting up in public forums, telling other women if you get money, don't get married, and telling them to avoid paying money to a man. That one boss chick, multi-millionaire credit repair lady turned murder for hire queen, remember? She allegedly wanted to put a hit out on her husband when she was looking at having to pay him $3 million in divorce, and somehow she was able to hide her money allegedly and basically only had to pay him $60,000. That was in her first divorce. If you missed that soap opera, I'm going to leave the link below for you to check it out. But they play real dirty out here, while men try to be fair. And look, here's another test. Put on my videos and see her reaction. There's no way a feminist or a chameleon will be able to sit through my content without showing visible signs of distress or some sort of allergic reaction. Believe me, the mask will start peeling away. And then you have young men who don't realize they may start at a certain level, but they will finish at a higher level. You're going to have more at 40 than you did at 20. So you have a lot of these leeches out here waiting patiently as the jackpot amount continues to increase. And then when they're happy with the amount, they're going to hit and take the winnings. That brings us back to the timing of Alvina's filings. In 2015, she saw his money starting to increase with Blackish. She was going to cash out then, but he convinced her to stay, and she stayed through the 8 seasons of that show. Then in 2022, when the show was over, after he EP'd the spinoffs and collected all this money, she knew the rise was over and decided that was the time to cash out. In her mind, she was sure that that was his height, so she went ahead and took the winnings. More than she would have received if she had followed through with the divorce in 2014-2015. Please believe these modern women are calculated. They know what they're doing. They're being coached by society, the women in their family, friends, women on social media. I've been talking about these chameleon coaches for years. They have women teaching women how to get over on you. And it's not just a level up, ladies, but you have women teaching women how to activate fake femininity to fool a man. I've been talking about that for years. which is why all the chameleons can't stand me. But like I've been saying for a while now, the family court system got the memo. They see less men are getting married, so now we see them dragging men through court with child support. Child support payments should never look like alimony payments, but that's what's happening. The best way to avoid all of this is to not marry these feminists, and you can't have babies with them either. There's no legacy for you when you're dealing with women like that. They'll destroy it. Wise men already know this. They peep the game. That's why these flamingos are out here doubling and tripling up with these men. They're dealing with men with multiple baby mamas, and they also have multiple baby daddies. These are the people doing all the breeding and then complaining about each other. That's because all of this is out of order. If a woman is not submissive, cooperative, if she can't obey and respect you as a man, then she's simply not wife material. She's a rebel, and she's going to cause you nothing but trouble. Ladies, if you think a man isn't a leader and you can't listen to him because he's not this or that, then stop sleeping with him. The woman controls access to relations. But we know these modern feminists, they won't stop dealing with him because they get with that type of man on purpose, so they can walk all over him and control him. All of this is about control. Women want power to be over the man, and the American court system is designed to destroy men. Lawmakers on every level, they're just weak, very weak. And since nothing will ever be done to address these issues, the people will have to move accordingly. Men, you have to watch out. You have the most to lose here. Being ordered to pay a woman $250,000 to $500,000 a year, and you're not even with her, is just ridiculous. It's nothing fair about it, and women know that. Because even if a wife is ordered to pay a husband $25,000 or $50,000 per year, they completely lose their minds and huddle up down there in Atlanta, sitting on a stage complaining about being an independent boss chick and having to pay any amount of money to a man. Anything over $1 is too much for them. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started. Tell me what you think about this. Shout out to Omega. I appreciate you for your support, as well as Dark Power and Roosevelt. Don't forget that you can support this channel as well. Links to Cash App and PayPal are below. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis, want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to like and share.